another one. There's another one there. Jeez, now it's not.
Yep. Now I'm going to update it.
The fishbowl. Useless. Do I not have a? Oh. I need to make some of my bases a little bit bigger. You don't happen to have pictures, do you?
What do you mean?
Of like, well, obviously, okay, any pictures you've pretty much IVPAC you've taken, you've given to me, but like, do you have any, like when you were just at certain houses of like in the house, the surrounding area or something like that, even with people in them that we get in and out, just to, like have one of the place. I'm just, for example, I'm looking at Kurthwood and I'm thinking like, well, if he had a picture of like anybody's house at Kurthwood, you know, like even if you took a picture of somebody outside or something outside that we could use.
Nope.
Not exactly needed.
I don't think so.
Not complete this. Are we cool? Are you all set now? If you mess something up.
We're just kind of looking around, making sure I got everything. All right, got my tape, got my stuff, got that.
I'm sorry, let me get my
All right, got the chat. We're good there. Oh, I need to get a drink, and I need to close the door. So give me 2 minutes, and I'll be right back.
We ready, Captain? I'll need those. I'll be ready with that. What? I'm kidding. Are you kidding? No. Let me see this.
going on, everybody? How you doing tonight? Welcome to Paper Aircraft Weekly, October 23rd, 2019. My name is Mark with NAS Aero Systems.
What's up, Pete? Still here. How y'all doing? We are here. Sorry, a little bit belated now.
Yes, we are here, and this is IVPAC Global.
Well, we came. We showed up.
So tonight we're talking about, the stuff on the thing there. We got some tips about some paper clips, and it's not obviously the paper clips you're thinking about. So we'll get into that in just a moment. We also got we're going to show you where the maps are located, and then we got to find some rockets.
Yeah, we've heard questions in the past, and I kind of want to address the fact that, like, some of these, like what people use for rockets and stuff like that, and how they can be used in the Corps. So, or what we're using, how they can be used. So, just wanted to touch base on that a little bit. That's a little quicker tale. Well, I mean, most of this is going to be kind of quicker tales. We say that now. 3 hours from now, I don't know what it's going to be like, but for right now, we're saying that. You know how we get. And I don't know. Let's see. So where's I kind of want to do the maps first, because it's something I'm a little bit more anxious about. I'm getting it out of the way and stuff, and I'm kind of happy that got updated because it took such a long time to do. This is probably the most research intensive one, especially when it comes to everybody involved and as to where your stuff was and everything. So finding the maps is no big deal. I don't think we're at the level quite yet where if you simply do an IVPAC map search, you're going to find us quite yet. But we will post a link at the bottom of this so you can see where to go to check these out. And the maps do cover like everything. It doesn't have the stations yet. It will. I'm beginning to. I don't know if I'm going to put them on there or not, but the stations may show up. Why, I don't know. We do a lot of flying there, though. I mean, by definition. So I kind of want to include them, especially because some of us are the proud owners of really cool ones. But for the most part, it does have the active duty ones and has the reserves. Mostly up to date. It would just require some people giving me a little bit of excuse me, a little bit of input as
ain't nobody got time for that.
What? Hey, that actually wasn't meant as like a dig on anything. That literally was a problem.
That wasn't just me. I know other people out there felt that too.
Yeah, but it really, no, I mean, for the most part, everybody is up to date as far as the knowledge I've been given is. It would just require a little bit of changing, like Mark, for example, if you have anything that you do have planning on going into the reserves or taking out of the reserves, it may change the layout of your reserve bases. But for right now, as what I know, these are accurate. So, I mean, it's basically that. Mine are pretty up to date just because I know where I wanted everything to be, even though, and also a couple of mine are fluid, and I don't know exactly where they're going to go myself. I have
fluid.
Fluid.
Weird.
There are mine. I plan on moving a couple of them around, and I've still got a couple in competition, so I don't know exactly if they're really going to truly be active duty or they're just going to doodle off into the reserves or something like that. And who knows? Maybe Phase 3 will be in the reserves. Whew, I don't know. But,
wow, I can't even get a third variant half the time.
I mean, there's been. I mean, I made that big news about Banshee being retired. You know, Type 1 and Type 2 being retired before, and I'm holding to that, of course. But there was talk before the retirement of like, oh, maybe Type 1 can stay in the reserves while Type 3 is active duty. Oh, because Type 4 is actually in the making now.
See, what in the world?
Yeah, that's one of the many sheets that got updated was the variant sheet, and for those of you who want to look in through our sheets or whatever, you can see it is. Oh, I deign to say that it actually is completely updated, but the variant sheet holds a bunch of what it says are variants in there. The long-awaited like breakdown of javelins not in there quite yet. I have to find the written down sheet that indicates what the types of variants of javelin is. But Banshee is in there, phases are in there, and who else is in there? There's one other one too that's in there. I can't remember. Might be it's not Venom, but whatever. I have some of mine. You guys can welcome to put in some of yours, of course. That's what that thing is for. But anyway, I'm straggling off a little bit there. As far as the maps go, it looks nice. I'd like some input, just make sure, like, if anybody thinks there should be something a little better. And one thing that is going to change right out of the way, I can say, is the icons. The reserves versus active duty icons, I do want them to be different. However, I've got them in such a way that everybody's like got the same icons for their respective companies and the company's respective bases. I'd like to break that down even further, but all I'm using right now are Google's borrowed icons. And since I just want to use planes, I've only got my choice of like 3, and I'm only using 2 of them. So I do have some icons planned for it. I have them in my drive, which I recently got back. So I'll be putting those in place, and they'll be probably color coordinated to different manufacturers. Mine will be different. Right now, the bases themselves, if you look at the bases itself, like for instance, Abacoa, it is marked in a light tar heel blue.
Yep.
I was thinking of mark for that. Yes, every one of his bases are marked in blue. OAE, yours are marked in a nice golden yellow. For no other reason than I thought it'd be cool. Mine are purple, and so on and so forth. There's just different colors for people. I mean, if you have a color preference, I'll change it. But I mean, geez, it's only on the map. It doesn't really matter much.
No, you got mine right.
I figured I'd have yours right.
Yeah, you got mine right.
But yeah, like I said, if there's any input on there that you want, like if there's a base that needs to be changed, moved around a little bit, if there's like an annex you've got, like me and Mark have a tendency to call the annexes like places very nearby, typically within walking distance, sometimes driving distance, that we have place to fly, that it's like, we don't want it to be a separate station or base, so it's annexed as part of the other base. The Point is a famous one of those. I mean, that one was probably the furthest we ever went, but it was great to be annexed. Yep. So, because he just couldn't fly barely where he was. But anyway, that's like I said. It shows a breakdown. Anybody in, you can point out some mods that you want. You can make them yourself, or just telling me, I'll make them. Look at the icons, be changing in the near future as I update them. Hopefully, I'll try to get them so that like the aircraft match. Again, the bases and therefore the manufacturer colors, but it may or may not happen. So, I mean, I've got a few icons, so I'm just trying to get the right ones. Basically, they're probably going to end up being little paper darts. But the trick of it is, of course, it's got to match up with what's on there right now, and of course, if you flip to satellite view, some of these may not stand out as well as they would on your regular map view, and that's always what I've been interested in.
Yep.
But anyway, I will post a link. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I mean, I did say where to look at it and everything, and it's not exactly a website I can just say. But if we could, Mark, do we have a way we can post a link up live?
I can put the link in the description.
Well, yeah, obviously, and we'll do that. We can do that. I'm just trying to see, is there any way...
I mean, besides putting it in the chat.
Right.
If you want to put it in the chat, I can go...
Oh, I suppose we could put it in chat, yeah?
You could put it in chat. And then I can copy it and paste it in the description.
Right. Oh, that's embedding it. I'm not doing the embed here. Oh my God. The share options are Facebook, Twitter, and email. And of course, I can share them. We can put, because we do have a Facebook presence, we can share them on there as well. Here, let me send this link out there to everybody. It is public on the view for everyone to see. But to get it out there on the chat for everyone there, let me go ahead, put that up there. And can you looking at the chat, Mark?
Yep.
You can see that. You can clip that, post that into the description. Link to our maps.
Yep.
And I said, feel free to take a look. Everybody does have. I have it in such that if you look at it, we all have a ops. That's your base ops. So like your particular wing that's hosted at whichever base you have, that's like the headquarter building. So that's where the icons are. But if you zoom in, you can't see them from far out. But if you zoom in, you can see your base layout there. And your base layout's basically just borrowed from whoever places you happen to be in any place you flew. So what's really cool is Google Maps lets you know exactly how big your bases are. So you can tell how many acres it takes and so on and so forth. That's kind of neat.
Right.
How big your bases are. So I'm trying to work some in there that actually, and I was asking Mark on this beforehand, if there's any particular picture you would like to have at somewhere that's related to it in any way, shape,
Yep.
or
That
form.
worked. Sweet.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. That worked. So
if
I
there's
posted it
places-
in the description,
Cool.
and then
Cool.
it's there. So I'm getting ready to. Let's see if I can do this here real quick.
I believe there's a way to create like a legend on there, and I haven't really fully made it yet. But once I do, you'll be able to tell again what I just told you live here, which colors represent which manufacturer and so on and so forth. Again, if there's any of you guys, people that are in, if you want some modification to it, you're welcome to do it yourself, or let me know. I'll change it on the fly. And again, when we were talking about the pictures, if there's any picture in particular you want related to it, in fact, usually we get a lot of pictures of planes flying, of course, but in this case, it'd be nice to have something on the ground in the immediate area or something that's known to the base. You know, like
Yep.
Mark, for instance, got a picture of his line. I put a picture of his line at Fontana, at
Yep.
Fontana's location.
So, and speaking of that, that's something I'm working on. I found these, which I'm going to use this, but I'm going to get different backs to hold them up, but they're loops.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hang them on the ceiling like that. So they have the loop down, and then I'm going to take, so that's going to be on each end, and then I'll tie it off, on here. This is meant to hold Ethernet cable, but
hey, whatever works.
yeah, I'm just gonna Velcro these to the with the 3M double-sided Velcro, sticky hard plastic Velcro stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to get some of that. I meant to bring home some from work, but we ran out, so I got to go find some more. And put that on the back of this, because that can hold more weight than these little command strips. And then in the middle, I'm gonna put a little clip. It's basically like the size of this, and it's just a little clip where it's open, and you would normally run cable through it, like Ethernet cable. And I'm just gonna run the string and hold it up that way.
Oh, hey, that works.
So that'll hold it up in the middle with the 3M, Velcro, and then these will be on the ends, and then it'll have that, and that's gonna go right up there. You can't see it, but it's going up that way.
That way. If
So
you watch one of his previous videos, you can see his layout. You kind of get an idea of what it looks like.
Yep. And there's some other videos that are going to be coming out, not only on my channel, but on the IVPAC channel as well. We recorded some other stuff, and I got to finish editing it and get that posted. So, any more about the paper tips clips?
Well, again, well, more of the maps right now, but
Well, we went out of order then.
we did go out of order. Like I said, I kind of wanted. I'm sorry, I kind of wanted to like get the maps out of the way, just because I had them up and I knew what I was going to talk about immediately. The tips are a little more encompassing. Um, Basically, and I'm doing this also as almost doing this as kind of like a little bit of competition, but I'm doing this because we were talking about tweaking your planes to fly.
Yep.
Just making sure that like you have a design in particular that like, hey, it's not flying the way I want it to. Why the hell not? Well, just it's good, of course, if you know what you want your plane to do. Just take like an interceptor, you want it to fly straight. If it's not doing that, if you could recognize why it's not doing it, it would be, the best thing. But we're talking about little tweaks, little things. For example, the barrel rolls. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all have any problems with that. You take one and it decides to corkscrew on its way. I mean, a barrel roll is a full, like, that's rolling on its axis. But if it's the whole body is rotating around axis, that's truly like, a corkscrew. And if your plane does that, that's usually an indicator that one of your rudder areas is off of one of the other ones. And if, I don't know about it, most of the other planes, flying wings, don't have this problem too much, of course. But if you have anhedrals, along with a basic fuselage, you've got 3 areas of rudder, the trailing edge of all 3 of them. And of course, again, if you're barrel rolling, fuselage, typically pretty straight. And I know your folds, obviously, if you make your folds at the right time, your anhedrals probably going to match, because we typically like to do that when the wings are up. But
Yep.
this isn't to say that you might be catching yourself out and folding them the exact same way, and definitely not the exact same way as you're going to fold your wings. So they may not be straight on to your rudder to the end of your fuselage. So keeping that in mind, again, if you wanted to avoid that, something like a simple tweak to the rear of each one of those, like, oh my God, it's barrel rolling to the right. Well, fold it off to the right. It's funny how these work, but again, if it's barrel rolling to the right, fold one of the rudder surfaces off to that direction, the direction it's barrel rolling, and see if it course corrects itself. Typically, it should. Even if you fold the center line one, that usually a center line one can correct even if your anhedrals are wrong. But if it's not, you can watch it, you can play with it and see like, oh, that didn't work. Then you need to start tweaking your anhedrals as well. Same goes for dihedrals or any fins you may have.
Trihedrals.
Or trihedrals.
Quadhedral.
That may not be as necessary. Obviously,
We haven't gotten there yet.
One or two of them, probably not going to need it. But obviously, again, the more vertical surfaces you have, you're going to have to tweak the rear ends of them to make sure you don't have the dreaded barrel rolling, which really kind of pisses you off and makes you want to throw your plane to grab. So, again, one of the minor things, if you have delta diamonds, Mark, this is especially for you, again, if they have a nose up attitude or a nose down attitude, the plane pitches up or down, just tweak the tips of the delta diamonds a little bit. I mean, if it goes down, kick them up in the back, because again, those are kind of like your flaps. Basically, they're almost the only flaps you have. So kicking, plane goes down, kicking them up, that'll bring it nose up. Or if it's too level for your taste and you want it to start going up, kick them up just a hair. I mean, the same can be said for any plane with any flap. If you want to just give it a little bit of nose up, trim it somehow. Put those flaps up just a hair, just a little bit. You don't even have to cut them in. I mean, you can, of course, but basically you could just crease the back end a little bit. And it doesn't require much. I mean, if you put the flaps even up like 7 degrees, you're going to see a marked difference. Matter of fact, you'll probably make loops in the dang plane. So you don't want to go that far. We're only talking literally maybe a degree 2 max, both directions. If it does pull up too much, flop them down. Like ailerons for the planes that can't have them. If you've got a plane that has wing pockets, I'll use a Wasp here. If you put ailerons on, which is basically like, or spoilers, if you will, putting little flaps up here on your wing pockets, that's usually highly non-recommended because that actually kind of Okay, I take that back. Let me rescind that statement. It's not exactly not recommended, but only because in the paper aircraft world, usually you have something like this where there's not a lot of wing behind the wing pocket, and you could do that and still expect to see a little bit of pitch up. Now, of course, in the real world, you have real planes; those act as spoilers, and you know what that means? It spoils the air. So basically, you're going to cause a lot of stall on the top, and it's going to drag the plane down. It causes a lot of drag. It beats the wing. It's going to cause the plane to fall. So if you have a lot of wing area back there, you may want to consider not putting that on. But it's always good to experiment, just see how much you can play with. These are different designs, of course, than real planes. So you flying wing guys out there, if you decide to put a wing pocket on there, you may want to check that out, even though I doubt it's really going to make that much of a difference. You kind of need somebody in the controls of the plane to do anything. So, but you'll see flaps, rudders, stuff like that. Obviously, making sure your plane is symmetrical. You make anhedrals the same way as your fuselage. You don't need to worry about putting rudders on it, right? Well,
Right.
again, rudders are a cheater's way out. If there's a chance you messed it up, you can put little rudders on there. You can get the plane back. So, different ways to look at it. Maintaining a center of gravity is usually pretty important. You don't want, if you want your plane to glide nose first, you definitely want the weight to be up there. Don't add too much weight to the back. And if you do add weight to the back, you've got to counteract it with weight to the front. You put a stable back there, you put even a piece of tape back there. Put that back there, you're going to have to think about putting something in the front to counterbalance it. Because the more you put in the back, the more chance that plane has of stalling or just flat spinning or pancaking. And besides OAE, I can't imagine any of the rest of us wanted that to pancake. Other things such as that, though, any other little tips you can think of that would make your plane fly better. Obviously, there's little tech pieces you can add onto it. We've got a rundown of lists and documents you can take a look at. And obviously willing to try all the pieces of tech that we've used in the past, or some new ones you may have come up with. We'd love for you to share them with us, of course. Just keep those in mind, just something to try out, because there's so much tech out there you can use, and you can use it together with something else. That the combinations are just crazy. I've gone through like 46 different phases, and each one has a different piece of technology on it. So then there you got 46. And let's not even talk about the combos. So you can easily get 300 planes out of just using the tech alone, besides using the basic plane.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna transition.
We're gonna transition
right over to the maps. The maps.
All right.
Transition right over to the maps.
And he's showing us the. Oh, that looks good. Oh, look at that.
And we're gonna go down here. You're gonna see this live.
This is gonna be hot.
And
let's see what they were. There he goes.
And so we got this one lonely thing out here. Way out here. I don't know what this is.
Way out here.
We got way out here.
Way out here.
It's somewhere out here.
The lovely OAE making us a nice little Western home out there.
I'm gonna find out your name. You ain't gonna hide forever. Just saying. Then this right here, we gotta protect the wall.
Gotta protect the wall.
We gotta protect the wall. We really need one out in this area, like this area. Get some Area 51 action going on out here.
That one's kind of like my testing ground. That is like one of my bigger bases out there.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, we would have one up here in Washington if I went back all the way to like birth, but I wasn't obviously building planes at that age.
That's true. That's true.
and I don't remember living there, but I was all the way out here. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at?
He's gonna show us. You remember where this was, huh?
Where's it at? Where?
Federal Way sounds kind of like your place.
No.
No. Okay.
No. Where's?
What you looking for?
Fort Lewis.
Oh yeah, Fort Lewis, McCord, which is now a joint base. Go to the east a little bit.
Of course, it would be east.
I think it's just slightly. Lewis and McCord are now it's a joint base now. So if you find McCord Air Force Base, you find Fort Lewis, same point. They're kind of butt up against each other.
It's not up in Seattle. It's down in Tacoma area.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Because that's what that piece of paper says that I got. It says what my name is.
Hey, wait a minute, Lewis. That sounds familiar. See, there's McCord down there.
Yeah, see, there it is. So it's down in this area.
Yeah.
So this.
There's Camp Murray.
If you put it right here where that little I-5 logo is.
There it is.
You know, the hand is going to stay put. You see what I'm saying? That, you got the whole West Coast kind of covered if you have that, and then you have Nevada.
Well, you kind of need something in Oregon, but South Oregon, North California, really, if you want that covered. But
yeah, you would preferably like a Sacramento kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe like right here, where this place right here.
Medford
this place,
is a good spot.
This is a good spot right here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is.
Weed.
put it right there. But Crescent City would be a good.
There's a weed smoke shop as soon as you zoom in. Imagine that.
I know, right? You zoom in, and then where's it at? Oh, yep, right there. Oh, I bet that's funny.
Like you knew it had to happen.
Of course. Yeah, I named it after the town. But yeah, if we put one like in the Crescent City area, or even like out this way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You could cover this whole area. Truthfully speaking, we need to get one up here so we can guard our northern.
Yeah, because we're really kind of like the U.S. Air Force, and we don't. We have most of our bases down south and hardly anything up north.
Right.
And we are seriously clustered around the southeast. Imagine that.
What's this?
Like North, South Carolina, and Florida are just
covered
in bases.
What is this?
That would be Camp Blanding.
Oh, that's the motor pool.
That is the motor pool.
That's the motor pool.
Those are some old barracks right there.
Yeah, see, I'm looking to put one somewhere around in this area. Somewhere right around. Let me actually find it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good area. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's not enough coverage there.
Yeah, right. We gotta make sure that this area right here, we gotta make sure that this area is covered. We don't want this parking lot or this little area right here to get attacked. So we gotta put one right here.
Personally, I'm kind of thinking we should just bomb the ever beloved piss out of it, but that's just me.
So we could use one right there. And I kind of got it covered anyways. with this
And I
one.
don't know if you guys have ever heard that, like, the middle of the Pentagon is called Ground Zero, but I'd kind of like to think that Seven Seas Lagoon is also another one that's Ground Zero, but what do I know?
Yep. I mean, it is for me. I'm always there. Always there. Oh, and then what's going on down here?
Where? Oh God, where's he go? Oh man,
Oh, you know. Oh, we did. Did we close the cove?
well, you close Cove.
I forgot. I
It's hard
forgot.
to keep track of all them damn bases down there, ain't it?
Everything keeps changing. Ain't nobody
That
got
was
time
your
for that.
choice, not mine. Your choice.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah. I could put one down here.
Yeah, that also needs some coverage.
Yeah, I could put one down here. I really just need to go, because we were down here, but I don't
I love
know.
how
Yeah,
I love how there's that one thing that says southernmost point of the continental U.S. and yet just off to the west there's a point more south of it. Actually, both east and west of it there's more southerly points, but that's the southernmost point of the continental U.S. Whatever.
Right.
I didn't make the map. I just lived by it.
Yep, this right here.
Yep.
But then you got this right here.
Yeah.
I think this is the southernmost point that you can get to, because this is an installation.
True, but I mean, like, you know,
I
it
mean,
still counts. Damn it.
yes, this right here would technically be it. Whatever this is. Looks like a landfield, like a minefield.
Something.
Oh, I mean, there's a satellite.
It looks like a cemetery. Kind of, sort of. Actually, what it looks like is looks like a over the horizon radar site. At least part of it.
Yeah.
Looks
See,
like
there's a tower.
Cuba.
See, battery 231. There's some more going on. Bunch of cars. What kind of cars we got over here today? What we got over here?
Oh God!
What are we working with? We got a truck right there. We got a truck. We got 2 trucks. 3 trucks.
A tall radio tower. What kind of tower is that? That's pretty big. Is that a microwave tower?
I mean, I ain't trying to cook no pizza rolls in there or something.
Oh no! Oh look, that must be a mini because that's like half the size of every other car that's there. Yeah, see, that's a big tower.
Yeah, because you mean...
And there was actually another tower that used to be there, but they took it down. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, because you look at the shadow cast. That's a big tower.
That's a big tower.
That's probably, what, a good couple 100 feet?
I would say so.
And I mean, when you look at the size of this golf ball down here, I mean, this golf ball looks kind of small compared to this tower. And these satellite dishes look kind of small compared to this tower.
Right?
Although I'm surprised you can't see that.
I don't know.
Can
You
we
should be able to, but
can we drop in on the thing? Does it let you drop the thingy on here?
it should.
Oh,
Satellite
no.
view. If you're just looking at it, I think you can. But you're probably not going to be allowed to on a military installation.
Whoa, that's not what I wanted. No, I
As
can't.
usual.
I can't do anything from that. I'd have to go back
You
and look
can
at
from here.
what?
At least I think you can from. You can't from there. Maybe you can't. I don't
I
know.
can't do that.
You're not in edit mode, right? You're just visually looking at it.
No, I think I'm in edit mode.
Oh yeah, actually, I see that. It says individual styles. You are in edit mode. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to switch to street view in edit mode. You'd have to just be viewing it.
Oh yeah, but that's okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah,
because that is okay.
Yeah. But I'd like to put one down there at some point, which I probably will.
I'd
At
like to
least
put
a
one in
reserve base.
Nebraska. See that one up there? See that one up there that like would be up there in that big state in the Northwest? I'd like to put one up there because we really need to cover that one. That's where you need coverage.
I mean, yeah, I can't put anything up here. I refuse.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
I mean, yeah, I refuse. I'm trying to look around somewhere I might visit. I just refuse. I no. See this. See this line right here? It goes up this way, curves around a little bit, goes across, goes down a little bit, and goes across, goes down a little bit, then curves back up a little bit, and goes down this way. I ain't crossing it.
Yeah.
And actually, if you think about it, see this this little interstate that runs this way right here and goes down this way and goes across here. Yeah, I ain't crossing it.
So freaking lame. All right, whatever.
I mean, to a degree.
That's cool.
As far as living goes, yeah, it's gonna be from here to about here. It's about a 200-mile radius right there.
So freaking lame.
Actually, it's less than that. It's like a 50-mile radius. Plop it on this lake right here. What is that? Oh, that's a swamp. It's not a lake. Of course. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, man. Oh, what we got over here? What's over here?
Did you see now?
AR-12? What is that?
Oh, yeah.
What we got here?
By a little reserve base over there.
I don't even know what that is.
You gotta zoom in closer.
Well, yeah.
Like I said, that's why, because you catch the icons before you catch the base.
It looks like a bomber. Look at that.
It is my airlift regiment, rather, that sits there.
Yeah, that's right there somewhere.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I've got them in various places too. See, so.
Yeah, you're spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see me? Well, I guess I am too, cause I got them up here.
You've got them in various areas. I mean, you've got Louisiana, you've got Minnesota, you got Virginia, and you got Florida. So you got a nice little square.
Yeah, I got Ohio. Section. I could put one in New York. I truly could. I did spend at least I was up there for 3 or 4 days.
Well, yeah, you could put a reserve base up there.
I'd have to find out where that was. I don't remember where we went. Cause we went up there for a wedding.
3 or 4 days, that qualifies right there.
Yeah.
That goes back, people, just in case you're wondering, that goes back with our talking about the basing, is how you form your bases, and reserve bases. There's kind of a slight gray area when it talks to exactly how you transform a reserve base to an active base. And of course, you might stay at a wedding, for example, for maybe you're there for 10 days. Maybe you turn it into like a vacation. You stay for 10 days. But again, if it's not a place you're gonna heck, I don't think I might come back there. Then it's like, okay, we'll keep it reserves. Even though I was there for past the 7-day grace period, we usually say that goes active. But again, if you don't plan on living there, going back there, keeping it reserve is not a bad idea, just for that reason.
Yeah. I usually say, if I was there for, a 24-hour period, then I'll try to make it a reserve base if I know that I'm probably not going to go back there again.
We like to say a little bit longer than that, but you can do 24. Typically, a 24 hours is kind of like a station. But then again, by pure definition, from what we've been doing in the past, technically what stations really are is just a place where you've gone, taken your planes to fly, like literally just that. It's not like there's a house that it could be a park, it could be a warehouse, it could be blah blah
Right.
blah. It's just a place you go and fly. It's not necessarily a place you can spend the night because it's not. I mean, okay, yeah, you can pitch a tent,
Right.
but so stations usually by our definition is that. I mean, again, something else that has variables, but because technically
Yeah.
stations really various names, so
Yeah,
any way you do it.
for me, I try to look at it as like, am I gonna be back in that area?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so if I know I'm not gonna be back in that area, then I try to take the longest stay possible in that area, and either at least try to build something or fly something, but mostly I try to get at least one plane built.
exactly. Yeah, which is a good idea too. I mean, yeah, you're benefiting yourself by doing that. So
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. But anyway, yeah, people take a look, check out the maps, see where we're at, see the places we'd like to go. For those of you that like have joined,
Yeah.
give me some ideas or fix it yourself. Anything
Yeah.
that you need there,
I mean,
I will be changing the icons. So
yeah, and there are some places that you just can't build or fly. Like for me, example, I have like at least one place that I could not build nor fly because it was 3 months of excruciating torment. And no, I didn't go to prison, but it felt like it. Might as well have been. Probably would have actually gotten better food. But
just maybe you would have got better food.
I probably would have gotten better food. I definitely wouldn't have been as tired.
Well, yeah, okay, fair
Wouldn't
enough.
have wouldn't have been as skinny, scrawny. By the time I got done with that,
Well,
118 pounds when I left there. When I left Paris Island, man, they starved me to death.
and see, these are also places like if you've gone, yeah, it's like prison. If you spend a long time there, but there's almost no way you can build or fly. It's understandable, but again, it's what we do in IVPAC. We honor history as well as just about our plane building. So it's a way for you to remember where you've been. I mean, obviously, a place like Paris Island, your boot camp, you're gonna remember it. But still, this just adds that.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I spent my life there. I'd kind of like to honor it by having a base there. So
yeah.
I did the same thing. When I was in Trumper in Texas is the same way. That's where
Now,
I did boot camp. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I did build a plane there. Did I fly it? No, I didn't get a chance to fly it.
yeah, and for me, I mean, honestly, I technically could have built or flown because I did go back once and visit somebody who was retiring a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could have, but out of fear, I didn't because
Well, you didn't.
if you've ever experienced that kind of thing, even though you know that they're not yelling at you, it still sends chills down your spine, and you're like, wait a minute, is he talking to me? No, wait, he's not talking to me. He's actually laughing with me because I'm laughing now, and he's just doing this for fun. I see what's going
Oh
on.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Oh, that was hilarious. I really wanted to find somebody. I wanted to really find somebody playing in the sandbox. That's what I really wanted to find, but we didn't find anybody at that point because we were only
Nobody
there
in the
for a couple of days. So
Wow.
it was pretty funny.
Wow. Cool.
But yeah, that was still so fun to go back and watch that from the other side of the fence, basically,
Yeah.
and just stand back and like, oh my goodness, this is what we
my
look
God.
like. This is what it was like.
Nice. This is what it looked like
Yeah.
from outside looking in.
Yeah.
Outside looking in. Yeah.
Yeah, and they look so confused. They look so confused. They're like, who is this guy and this woman with this stroller with these kids staring at us? Like, we're not graduating. We're not even close to graduating. They honestly had just gotten there. They still had their tennis shoes on. They hadn't even been allowed to wear boots yet.
Well, I mean,
So we were cracking up. Like we obviously didn't laugh in front of them, but when we left and walked away after watching them, we were dying laughing. It was hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Well, some of those though, I mean, like they gotta have been used to. I mean, like everybody drops in to see other people. So
Honestly,
it's not,
no. Like I don't remember seeing anybody hardly any. I guess you would say civilians. The whole time I was there until right near graduation.
oh really?
It was like I was in a whole nother planet, and not knowing how close I was to seeing it, we were just sheltered that much. So for them to actually see us that early on in training probably freaked them out a little bit.
Well, I suppose.
Because I mean, they were standing like,
yeah.
because we walked like, I might actually pull this up on the map on an actual. Oh yeah, let me. Duh, I got the maps right here. Let's go back to it. Let's go back down here, and then I'll pull this up. That's Myrtle Beach. I'm looking for Myrtle Beach. I'm looking at there. It is. There it is. Come on down here. Come on down here. Come on down here. There we go.
There we go.
So let's go ahead and go back to studio mode. Go back here. Go ahead and hit that button. So what we've got here is all right, so let me see how you guys see this. Pull this over here so I can see what you guys are looking at. Okay. So I was actually located right here where my mouse is, in this bottom floor of this building. I was on the first floor of this building.
The bottom floor.
Yeah, so I had that, but the graduation is held here on this big parade deck, and we parked just over here somewhere. Like I was able to sneak in and find parking somewhere over here. Actually, in this parking lot right over here.
Oh.
I was able to sneak in and get parking over here. And then we just walked down the street. So when you walk down the street, this is the graduation ceremony area here. There was a lot of stuff going on because it was graduation. That evening, I should say, that day. But right here, they had barricades up.
Oh, so you had your own. Wow, cool. You had your own like wall for the base. Like
Yeah, so they had barricades up that we would run through to be able to cross the street, and they had barricades up on the other side, mostly so people wouldn't drive down and couldn't come down these roads. they had barricades. These because this is where we would all like practice marching, and there were no cars. Like there was a few cars, but that's because they were allowed to be here. They were the drill instructors and stuff like that. So we were walking around because we had time to waste before we had to be where we were at. We were walking around, and I noticed where we were at, and I was like, "Oh, I want to go over here real quick." And even though it said, no military personnel only beyond this point, I said, "You know what? I don't care." We walked past that, and we came down this little next to these trees, and we were walking, and then we stopped in this parking lot because I was looking at the building, and I was like staring at it, and I was like, man, I can't believe I spent 3 months here. And at that time, we heard people screaming, and we were like, oh, that's funny. Somebody's getting, the whole platoon is getting yelled at. Next thing we know, both doors come flying open on this building and this building, and they come running downstairs. So these guys came running downstairs, these guys came running downstairs, and they all lined up in formation. Boom, 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 boom. And then, of course, kids are asking, Daddy, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, shh, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just be quiet. Hush your mouth. Just watch. Just watch. So we're standing there, and we're watching them. And they're facing the parking lot. So the first squad can see us plain as day. Because we're standing in the middle of the parking lot. And they're standing here on the sidewalk. Now, the drill instructors from this building right here, I don't know what floor they came from. I don't know if they were from the first, second, third floor, wherever they came from. But the platoon that was here, the drill instructors were standing about, let's zoom in a little bit, about where this red car is. So they were standing about here, and the platoon was all lined up down here and stretched all the way back here. And so they were standing right here. The platoon was facing this parking lot. They were standing back here. I look at them, and they look at me, and one whispers to the other, and they both kind of chuckle a little bit. But they don't obviously laugh out loud, but they kind of have a smile on their face because they know that, their platoon can't see them. And he looks at me, and he nods, and then he starts going down the line in the front and pulling out all their canteens from their waistband because they were supposed to be locked in, and they weren't locked in. So he just started grabbing them and pulling on them, and everybody's whose was unlocked. They were like, he went to the squad leader, and he started ripping the squad leader open, and then he was just screaming at all of them, running up and down and making them pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down. It was hilarious. So he put on a little mini show.
Oh my God.
He put on a little mini show for us standing there, and then they put their canteens away, and then turned around. He had them march. They marched them off, and then he kind of looks at us and just to give his acknowledgement, like, I hope you enjoyed that. I was like, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It was.
Have everybody, man, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's dumb, and they had no clue. And that would have been just. And honestly, that probably would have happened on any normal given day. They would have probably done that anyways, but just to have us there and them do it because they saw us, I think that was pretty entertaining. And then the kids, of course, were trying to figure out, what was going on. And I was just laughing. I wasn't laughing obviously in front of them, but I was laughing after they left. It was hilarious. I mean, because you can see them in this little square formation right over here, marching around over here.
Oh my
And
God.
these people, it's funny because
It's really cool that they did it for you guys, standing out there just
yeah,
doing that.
this formation is funny because you could see, you could actually see the drill instructor standing there by himself, and everybody else kind of scooted up together and bending down. But you could see the drill instructor, the tallest thing right here, standing up in the shadow. Like, really? That's insane. You can see one standing back here in the back because he's in the back of the formation. He's a little bit off, but that's where he's at. There's one out here.
God.
There's probably one running around over in the shadow here. I can't really tell, but they usually have 3 to 4 per platoon. And there's there's either 3 or 4 floors on each of these things. So there's either 6 per building per section here, or 8 per section here, and then there's the same on this side.
Yeah.
So if that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 48 drill instructors for this little area alone, that's annoying. And then the same for this building over here. They had another company over here. So this was golf company, and this is hotel company.
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, so that's a little history for you folks.
A little history. Yeah.
How that went down. But yeah, that's...
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy because where's our chow hall at?
Wait, the history lesson continues.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm just curious where it is. It looks like it was... I thought it was over in this area. But this... Interesting. So maybe it was... Huh.
It may be gone. Like I said, a little bit.
No, it's not. And look how close Subway is.
God, it's like tantalizingly close.
Yeah. There's a bank, dry cleaners, Subway, post office. The visitor center is right here. Had no clue it was even there.
What do you do in the visitor center?
That's where people can go and find out information about where they're at, whether whoever they're looking for is staying. They can, find out more information and history about the base. But I believe this... It's either this or... It's these. Might be these. This might be the chow hall area right here.
Okay.
This, and it's so crazy how small this area is. So I believe this is the chow hall. This is our PT area right here, where our big fields are, where they destroy us. They have the learning center over here. They have the pool right here. This is the main check-in building right here, where you first check in when you first get there, because you can see the little yellow feet print, right here. Feet print, foots, yellow steps. That's the chapel, where you go for church, and then get you some Jesus.
Gotta get you some.
I'm trying to remember what this building is. I don't remember what this building is. I don't know if this is where we went to get our haircuts. It might have been where we went to get our haircuts. and might have bought our supplies. But I'm not 100% sure. But it's all in this little square here. This little rectangle. But would you believe that they make it feel like you're running 15 miles when you're walking 2 blocks?
You know what? I don't doubt it.
Because I could have sworn that the chow hall was further. I could have sworn that the church was further. I could have sworn that the learning center was further. I thought everything was further. So they must have had us walking and marching around for who knows how long to get us there.
Well, when they got you, that's the thing is like they try to disorient you at first because they want you on their.
Well, yeah, because think about it. This is where I was. So this is where I was. The exit's right here. You go up to this traffic circle and you go out this way, and you boom, you're right here. And you got your Panda Express, everything. Kim's Alterations, Buy Low, you got the McDonald's, the Battery Creek Club, the package store. Gotta get the package store. You got some apartments right there. Who knew that it was that close? And we marched. See, now this they made it feel like it was a long march. So we marched from this area right here all the way out here to the rifle range.
That's a decent march.
Oh yeah, it was like 6, maybe 8 miles. I don't even know exactly. Somewhere around in there. It was like our middle of the road march, because it wasn't our big one. Because they had done small ones. They did like 3 and 4 mile marches, which weren't marches. They were like runs. Like literally, like you would run for 3 miles with your pack on. You're like, wow, this is terrible. But this one was an actual march where they didn't go super fast, but they had a timeline. And somebody small like me suffered a little bit. A lot of bit.
Okay. Yeah.
That one sucked. And then by the end, I was breezing through it. This down here is where the retirement ceremony was. This is a cool little place.
Away from the rest of the groups.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is in the back of the. Nobody comes back here. This is where all your military personnel live and all this other stuff. They live on this side of the base. And all, like, basically.
Well, no, I guess they do. Paris Island wouldn't just be a boot camp place.
What were we supposed to do before you got in here?
All right, give me a little bit.
Like how long? Like
It has to be more than that.
Like how long?
Maybe 30, 45 minutes.
I'm gonna just do it right now. And I can get on with that.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Give me
30 seconds.
Give me 30 seconds, and I'll be back. And then I'll put this on that. There you go. There we go. I'll be back.
Right.
I'll be back in just a minute.
He's coming back. All right. He's showing us. All right. He's keeping us on a little history run there since we're dinging on the maps. But again, everybody wants to look at the maps. You want to guess, take a look, take a gander, you want to adjust, you want to see where we are, you see where we've been. Obviously, he's looking at where we've been, mostly where he's been. It's nice to relive the past, and this is exactly why we keep up some of these. Just see where we've been, try to remember what it was we've done. No big deal. Again, fun way to keep track of them. There's always, it doesn't necessarily mean you've had to have flown or whatever. It just means you've had to have been there, perhaps built, perhaps flown. No differentiation there, but
Yeah.
But we like it if you built that
Yeah.
small. Not necessary. In
Yeah.
this case, neither.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, they basically they mark all of this area off over here. Not really mark it off, but they have it sectioned off to where you don't go out that way. Because that's 1st Battalion is over this way. This is 1st Battalion. This is 2nd. 3rd Battalion is the one that's the farthest out. I think that one is over this way. But they kind of section it off a little bit.
Why did you section it off?
Well, because they section you off because they don't want anyone else to see where you're at.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
Being what you are, being where you are, yeah.
Yeah. So the only other time, like, I won't say the only time, 1st Battalion, we did see them kind of quite a bit because we shared the same parade deck. Now, this one down here, this one, I'm not sure who this is. I can zoom in a little bit and maybe find out, but maybe not. It doesn't say. I'm assuming, since it's one building, it might be 4th. But then again, it might be 3rd, because there's looks like another building right here. I don't know what this is. But there's a 3rd Battalion somewhere. This is the airport. Where in the heck is 3rd Battalion? This is the golf course. It's way back here in the swamp.
Way back here in the swamp.
Yep.
You played.
See, this is its own area. This is where you kind of see everybody, because depending on when you start, you all start at the same time, so you all end up here at the same time.
Oh.
Like, even though 1st, 2nd, and 3rd don't start at the same time, sometimes 4th Battalion starts the same as one of the men's, because the 4th is the woman's. So they'll start at the same time and graduate at the same time with one of the men, with the male companies, except for my company is one of the few male companies that doesn't graduate with females. So they make it, I feel like they made it even harder on us.
They're always going to feel like, you're always going to feel like you've been specialed out as a group. I know we did too.
Yeah, like it was dumb.
That, so.
It was dumb. But I'm sure there's where the heck is 3rd Battalion? Because this one you can see on it, you can see 2nd right there. You see 2G right there. And you can't really zoom in on that one, but...
Not that you can tell that's what it is, but you know what it is. So.
Well, that one's pretty easy. That's G. And that's 2.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you got to be... Yeah, they've been on the ground to see that. But it doesn't say it from the air.
Right. Yeah, you would only know... Yeah, you wouldn't notice it from... Like, you would have to walk up on it to see it. And see, they don't even have this one labeled, but I know what this one is because, I mean, I guess they do. But you can't see it. But I know what this one is. Yeah, I know what this one is. But where in the world
is Carmen San Diego?
Yeah. Where in the heck is 3rd Battalion?
I had to do it.
Where in the heck is 3rd Battalion? Because I know they always cried because we had it the worst because we were always in the back and we, like, nobody ever came back there to check on us, so they tortured us more than everybody else.
But yeah, they're all just confused because I mean, you have no idea how far you had to go.
Well, we did know that we never saw 3rd Battalion the whole entire time we were there.
Oh,
Like, so there's somewhere on this base that, and I'm assuming it's either this one right here, which I would figure it would have 2 barracks. So maybe it is this one. And maybe this is 4th because it's a single one. But
No.
that wouldn't make sense because I didn't think 3rd and 4th were that close. But then again, there's nothing out here that would indicate that it's out this way because this is not. This ain't. Yeah, there's no barracks out here. I should say there's no what looks to be like squad bays like these
yeah.
where, like, you know, these enormous buildings. It's like, oh yeah, that's something. But this rifle range is so cool though. That rifle range is cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
What's that?
Looks like a 1.
I think so. Yeah.
They move it?
Again, things might have changed. I don't know if. Ooh, dude, it's right on the coast. I don't know if they got hit by a hurricane between the time you were there or not, but that's usually a big change. Usually a big indication of change. Something got flooded out, so they destroyed it or something.
It is possible. They did get hit. I think, what was it, Florence?
It's probably been a few, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So I don't know when this picture was updated last, but that's definitely a 1. No. That's a 4. That's a 4.
You can tell?
Yeah, I see this line right here.
That's really fuzzy. But okay, yeah.
I can see it. I'm sorry. I can see it. I can see it. So that means this has got to be 3rd. This is probably one of their barracks, and this is probably the other one. Or they had 2 here, and one of them got destroyed. Because it's set up almost identical to all the other male ones, where it's got two side by side. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. Yeah.
And it's got the space for a second one right here. And there's this parade deck right here, which I think they always complained about, that they always had this. They never had an actual parade deck. They had this broken, like, parking lot kind of thing. So this is where they would practice. So I think this is them back here, which would make sense. And then they would share this obstacle course area. And then, of course, the females are probably in this one right here. That would make sense that they're in this one, maybe this one as well, and this one. Depending on, because it's the buildings, these don't look as tall. Granted, they might. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good question. So interesting. See how we get sidetracked, man? It's so crazy.
It is, yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, dude, especially you and Maps. Apparently, Maps are your friend.
Well, you know, they is. I do like the maps. See, I thought this was a 1. Maybe it used to be 1st at one point, but that seriously looks like the 4th Battalion logo. Because I know this one over here doesn't have anything on it.
People also, side note, just while you're thinking about that, try to remember to give me your mascots and colors if you haven't already done so, because that's one of the major identifiers on the maps. I usually use our mascots has places on there indicating where your wings and groups are and so on and so forth. So
No way. They don't have them?
hooray!
Where did they go? Where did they go? Because I know they have them.
Are you sure?
No.
Again, something they might have lost.
No, they wouldn't have. They would have put those back real quick. It's part of their punishment program. There was one. There was one back this way too, and then they have theirs over here. Oh, there's that one. There's that one. Okay, so let me look for. That's where they are. Where's the big one? All right, I'm gonna bring this back up. I'm sorry, guys. This is funny. I gotta show you guys.
Here we go.
I'm sorry. This is funny. All right, so we're gonna do this real quick. So this right here. You see these little speckled dots? This is funny. They're playing in the sandbox. That's funny. That's funny. You can see this right here. This little blob of stuff right here is their gear. That's so funny. That is so funny. Oh, there's a group of them walking around right here. I wonder what they're doing. Following this truck or something, or walking around this truck. But this group, so that's what I was looking for. I was like, where are these sandboxes? So they have that big one. That'll fit the whole platoon. And then they have over here on the sides of each of them. So over here they have big ones. But they usually don't use them as... I mean, they use them, but these are a little bit smaller on our side, and they single out like 5 to 10 people, sometimes a little bit more, but they single you out, or they single out a smaller group of people over here in these sandboxes, and this is hilarious.
Oh God!
But see, we didn't have any directly on our side. I think they might have had some right here. Like a small one right here. But I don't remember. Because I thought we had one real close to our... I think they did. I think this might have been a small one right there.
A very small one?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they had them in different sizes. See, as you can see another one down here. These are bigger ones. These might be newer barracks. Oh, there's third. There's third. You see the 3? Do you see that?
Yeah, there's a shield on there.
Yeah, you see that? That's third.
Oh yeah, I can see the 3.
So this must be new. This looks new.
Yeah, you're right. No, they kind of do. Kind of do look a little new.
So this one is 4th. So that one is 4th because that is their logo. And then 2, see, 2 is right here.
It's like every other place that's like that. They're all clustered together, right?
Yep. I mean, and they wanted to cry about being in the back. They ain't in the back. That's a new... They might have been down here at one point. They must have been down here at one point. Because this looks like our barracks. You know what I'm saying? This one looks new. And these look new. These are like the new style buildings. Because this is new. That looks crazy new. And that's their parade deck. And they have a nice one out there. That looks brand new. Compared to this. You can see the cracks and everything in this one.
The cracks. And all those little blobs on there performing, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how straight the lines are in this one. Versus...
What the heck is that thing on that fenced-in area over on the left?
What are you talking about?
Right there. What is it?
This?
Yeah.
This is a parking lot.
Well, why is it fenced off, though? It's fenced off, and then there's something in it because it's casting its shadow. Yeah, what is that?
This might be a parking lot for you to park your car in if you deploy.
Okay.
Or it could be part of the motor pool. It could be part of a motor pool area or something. But they got whatever this building is. This, I don't know what that is. Because they got dumpsters out back. Doesn't look like they got anything crazy out front. And you could literally march around this way and come in. I don't know what this is. I honestly don't know what this is.
Oh my gosh.
But I do know that they obviously had to revamp stuff. Oh no way! This is where this stuff is. This is insane. I was like, where are all the obstacles and stuff that they took us out of the tree line and beat us in? Like, they were like, climb this, no, get down, and they kick you, and then they're like, what in the world? Because I know we marched all the way out in this stuff. We marched all the way out and did a U-turn down one of these stinking roads. I remember that. Might have been one of these.
So again, we're traveling down,
It might have been... It couldn't have been one of these. This has got too many houses and stuff. We didn't see no stinking houses. I don't even know what a house looks like. This is insane. This is insane. They can't be that small. It can't be that small. That place looks huge. When you're there, that place looks tiny on the map. Look at this little thing. You got like 4, 5. I mean, there's probably 30 or 40 obstacles over here, but... Oh, yeah, it is. See this little circle?
Yeah.
That's bugle sticks. You get your butt whooped. Where's the daggone... Oh, no way. Is this... What is it? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the tunnel. Where you get your butt whooped? Or not. See, there's another little bugle stick ring over here. Another one over here. I hated that stuff, man. None of the gear ever fit me because I was so stinking short. So the helmet was too big. I couldn't see. Gloves barely fit. I mean, they were too big, so I could barely, keep them on. I'm trying to hold this stick with these big weights on the end, with these padded weights. And how in the world do you expect me to swing this stuff when I could barely keep my gloves on with these small hands?
Oh man.
But yeah, then you got... This looks like a stinking rope climb right here. That tall thing right there, that's what that looks like. Looks like the stairway to heaven. Because that's just one big tall ladder. You got to climb all the way up that. This is that A-frame ladder that we had to weave in and out of. Where's the daggone rappel tower and zip line and all that garbage? Is
See,
that
I
all?
don't know about ours because ours changed. So
Yeah, but it didn't look like this. I mean, obviously they could have changed it around, and they, it could have, some stuff could have been out here, and they removed it. What in the world's out here? Dirt. What's out here? Dirt. Man, this makes no sense.
no, I don't suppose it does.
Where in the world did they march us? Out here. This is where they marched us. They marched us out in this area. You see this? There's nothing out here.
There used to be a long time ago. There ain't anymore.
No, there was nothing out there then.
Well, no, I don't mean then. I mean a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but maybe back in like Ron's day.
Right. The hell, that could have been the old barracks.
Yeah, it could have been, but I don't think so.
We're probably going to have to cut all this out.
Well, yeah, probably. But anyways, this is... Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, so...
So, anywho.
Yeah, so... Sorry about my little rant. That kind of thing. I get it. I get sidetracked on a thing.
It's fun to do it.
Where the guys at, man? Where they at tonight?
I don't know. Well, we did start late. Maybe they're actually busy with something. I don't know. But we're doing it for their benefit. So,
Wednesday. Ain't nobody
now
got time.
It's like, well, I don't know. We almost should stop and then restart or whatever because we got to cut. Probably should cut that out. No, it's all right. It's all right. We just check it out the map, planning the map. That's cool.
Yeah. So what we got? What was rockets? Go ahead.
Rockets.
Rockets.
We were gonna talk rockets because people were wondering, like, what could we do? What do we do about rockets? Robert had asked us, have we built homemade rockets? Well, yeah. Just what would you do with a homemade rocket? Like, obviously you can make rocket engines and stuff like that. It's just, holy cow, man. If you make your own designs, it's one thing. It's cool. Obviously they do have a home in here because you can use them as self-defense rockets. You can shoot people down. You can shoot planes down, so on and so forth. But like, our typical designs, is gone from homemade rockets to the traditional hobby rockets that you can get to firework rockets. And firework rockets traditionally are almost the best ones that we like to use. Granted, they're not our design, but they just work best and they're intimidating, so you kind of want to, not fly through a Saturn missile battery, for example. So,
Yeah.
Those are the only ones we usually typically keep track of. The bottle rockets, and the bottle rockets do come in handy because we can test launch them off aircraft, either on the center line or in tubes that they have, because we have see a couple of our older videos, we put them under the wings and launched them off of those, as well as launching aircraft with ones taped to the center line. That was a pretty famous thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thunderbolt put up quite the show of the original rocket launch, if I remember correctly. But just whatever rocket you choose to use, basically. Obviously, if it's your own design, it's the best. But if you've model rocket launched or whatever, or if you've used fireworks, those count. Really, we're not going to differentiate just because they don't mean much. It's not like your design, you fin coated and blah blah blah, but they count. It's cool. It's just the same with like radio controlled ones or kites, for example. I mean, kites are a little bit easier to design and everything, but kites are useful tools, believe it or not. Pretty cool to send a paper airplane in the bottom of a paper box attached to a kite, some, I don't know, 100 feet high, and then dropping the plane down to see what it does. It glided pretty good, I'll tell you that.
Indeed.
Indeed. Oh, you didn't get that soundbite yet, did
I
you?
didn't. Not this week.
Man,
I'll have
that's
to
gonna
try
be
to
another
get
one
it.
y'all have something to look forward to coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get it, cut it, make it.
Indeed. So anyway, anywho, yeah, basically that. And, Mark takes us down this, you know, stroll down memory lane there over at Paris Island. I can't do that with mine. I mean, okay, yeah, Trumper's kind of actually pretty much the same. Only a little things have changed. Kiesler, a lot of stuff has changed because just like what might have happened to Paris Island over there for him, Kiesler has been flooded out multiple times. So the what used to be called the triangle is completely gone. There's a new triangle there, and if these cases you've ran into on the maps, for example, if you run back in and look and see when you put your base down, and all of a sudden there's nothing there anymore. Well, that's what happened with that one. It's like the building I was in has been torn down and replaced with an ultra modern new building. So I've never been in there, so that can't count. But it's all about the history and the traditions. So the little icons stay where they were at. You can go there and place a little cement icon where your base used to be, whatever you want to do. Where the obstacle course used to be. Firing range.
Right.
Where the pugil sticks are.
Yep. You see, I slept on this patch of dirt.
This patch of dirt was particularly uncomfortable. This one over here, this was quite nice. It felt like it molded to your body when you slept.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to build or do while we're still here?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Any tech that you wanted to test on something or see if it works on something, or I'm just putting it out there just in case. It's something we probably ought to think about closing the shows with, just in case there's somebody out there that says like, hey, do this real quick, see if you can put this on board, blah blah blah. Just want to, like I said, just want to throw that out there in case there's something like, hey, I had this idea, let's see what it would do,
Yeah, I haven't thought of anything.
You had your large plane from last week that you worked with, and bet we got a chance to get it out there yet, huh?
No, I ain't had a chance to do nothing.
Well, thanks for leaving us in suspense. If there's like any material, that you may be willing to try, see if it works really well for you. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but this is that folder paper I cut. I haven't turned it into anything yet because, sometimes you're thinking about what you want to do with these. Oh, here's something I was going to discuss too, though. It's like, it's just like the maps. I did want to say, most of those sheets, as I said, are updated now. So if you guys want to get out there and if there's anything that needs to be added, want me to add, or if you can add it yourselves, please do. OAE, for your sake, the aircraft sheet. That one, yeah, I'm going to have to work on that one a little bit stronger because you've been updating the one that's in, again, my personal account all this time and not the IVPAC one. So to give everybody a fair example and fair timing on there, I'm going to have to put it in IVPAC one, which means I'll probably download and upload there. And then, again, I'll make sure we share it with everybody so that that one's commonplace. Because, again, Mark, me, Hagatalk is not even on there yet. Raptor's probably not on there yet. We need to get those on there, definitely. Heck, I don't think Diamant's on there yet, really. Wasp might be, but I'm not even sure of that. It depends on which aircraft sheet it is. So, like, I think for a time there, I was neglecting updating the one on my account, and I might have updated IVPAC's. So, with OAE updating that one and not the other one, and then with me updating that one and not the other one, we might have a little bit of a clashing of the planes going on. So, I need to get that. That's another one. I need to get that sorted out. That one has almost became more labor intensive than the installation sheet. So, all the rest of them are in pretty good shape. That one's probably just going to be a little bit of the most work, and really only it's going to be some cut and pasting. But I think you've given me like Raptor's rollout in first flight, right?
I thought so.
You probably have. I'll begin to wonder
so.
where the hell it's at. It might be posted somewhere. I'll have to take a look. I might have put it on a sheet somewhere.
I mean, it
just a quick reference. But you know what it is regardless, right? Because it ain't that old. And I know I'm scared to say that because you, in the past, your government problems have been infamous, to say the least.
What had happened was...
in any case, oh my God, dude. You got to fix the title, by the way, since it says paper aircraft.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it does to me. I just now noticed that. Why does it say paper aircraft?
There's an R in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's air, but it says caft.
No, it says CRAFT.
Wait a minute. What am I looking at then?
Oh!
Dude!
I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, okay, yeah, let me, all right, hang on.
The title of the video, not the title of the stream, but the title of the stream on the screen.
You shut up. It's been like that for weeks.
Oh, no. Really? Okay, we're good. Paper aircraft. Oh, people are going to have fun with that one. Good thing they don't search by titles on the title card, because...
Right.
Damn. I mean, damn.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that doesn't look...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It doesn't look too horrible now. Oh, my God.
You just now noticed that?
Oh, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, well, I never noticed it at all.
Oh, no. Yeah, Paper Aircraft Weekly back in 2009. Oh, man.
Win cuter.
How? There's like no way to go back and change that, is there?
No.
Whoops. Good thing we haven't been doing this kind of format for a while, so that doesn't, try to ignore that in the past, people. Maybe we'll edit that out.
It doesn't exist.
Like in the rest of the screenshots, we'll be holding up like a title card, like up here near the top. It's like, okay, just ignore this right here. Just this top part. The sheets. I was gonna go somewhere with that, and then I got sidetracked by the fact this is aircraft. Oh man. Oh Jesus. Okay, we at least look a little better than we are. Yeah, the old one sucks. What can you do? But how do y'all like the new format anyway? New format pretty cool. Looks like a little channel there. I know it's kind of, we'll have to, obviously, when we get 3, 4, maybe more of you on there, we're going to have to change the layout again. Do you have any ideas for a new layout, Mark, if we decide to switch this up in case others join in? That was probably the answer.
I had to get that off of there.
I believe so. You make me wonder exactly how that's going to look. I'm going to have to check that out. I can do that in the background. We could almost probably link it to them, I guess, right? Because we linked them to maps pretty successfully. We can probably link drive sheets while we're there too, right?
Yeah.
Can they see drive sheets?
I don't know.
Okay, aircraft is, oh God, that's ugly. When you go and look in our sheet section, it's nice to see that almost everything has been updated this year, except for the aircraft sheet. It's probably because I'm the most scared by that one now. Technically, not too many of them really needed to be updated. It's just that since I went all out to make sure everything was, in fact, updated. The aircraft index that's in there is kind of for fun. The acronyms just don't change much, so that's no big deal. The aircraft is the only one, and that's really going to have to be touched up. So, crap. I'll see what I can do. Where was I going with that before I did that? What did I say before that? There was something before I got sidetracked by the discovery of aircraft that really had me. Man, what the hell was it? It was something. It wasn't even looking at the various places on your base. You know, it's funny because if I go back in time on the live screen, I could take a look at you looking through the base. It's kind of funny.
Say what?
Well, like, you keep looking at the live stuff. Or, I mean, like, you could rewind the live stuff and see what happened in the past. And I'm looking at the past, and it's like you looking up, like, oh, I used to be here. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to see what I get. But in any case, let me leave it like that, though. So, like, sheets, again, you get the sheets updated. The sheets are pretty much updated. The maps are pretty much updated. If you guys haven't thought of a mascot in certain places, let me know the mascots. Let me know some colors. Those are basically the things that are missing mostly in every place. I'll change the icons. Got to get with Robert again, make sure we get him on board fully here. Any other rollout dates or first flights, I got to combine all of my aircraft sheets. So that's probably what I'll be doing in the immediate future here. And by immediate, I say like almost as we close out, I might be starting to tweak on that a little bit. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm liking that. I'm just peeping in when I you know when it is.
And so,
I mean,
no other sheets you wanted, or like sheets, no other design you wanted to play with or anything like that?
Oh, of course, all of them, because I need to fix them all. Like, it would take me a month to talk about all that mess.
You don't have to do that on your own. I mean, you could do that on
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because that whole pile of them over there right now is
soon to be not a pile.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it won't be a pile much longer. You got the stuff now. You're close to getting it up, eh?
Yeah, I'm close to getting it up, but that means I got to go through those and figure out which ones are even salvageable.
Yeah. Well,
at that point, I mean, I do have this one.
And you got to figure. Well, again, did you ever decide exactly what you're going to name that big thing?
Oh, this one.
I mean, I know you were looking.
Nobody got time for that.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to name this one. Yeah, like I don't know.
I didn't know if you just want to stick with Thunderbolt Plus or
No, I'm thinking either like I don't know. I'm thinking like something along the lines of like Superbolt or
Megabolt.
Megabolt, or
This is borrowing stuff from OAE, Megabolt, Ultrabolt.
um,
I mean, just to show that it's bigger, right?
yeah. I gotta fix this. Daggone, man, why in the world does this always do this to me?
Do you think that's as big as you'll make it?
Probably.
Well, I'm just thinking you want to keep that in mind. So, if you do name it, it's like, well, if it's Megabolt and you don't want anything bigger than Mega, then that's okay. But if you build something smaller, you can call that the Super Bowl. Vice versa. You know what I mean? But then again, if you run, I'm sure that's kind of how you run it. OAE runs into those problems. So if you've got like the Mega, it's like, oh crap, this one's even better. I guess it's gonna have to be the Ultra. After that, you're really screwed. The Omnibolt.
Yeah, like, I mean, I got so much stress in this wing pocket right here, and I can't get it out.
Well, again, it's supposed to be a Thunderbolt. It's a Thunderbolt, right?
Yeah, but this one doesn't have as much.
You could just tape it down, right?
Well, I guess it does have a lot.
You could just tape it down. It's going to do real no harm, I would imagine.
Correct. Yeah. I just like it to be smooth without tape. And just do that and then lay flat like that. But no, this one don't want to do that. It wants to sit there and just poof out. And I'm sitting here pushing this thing out, and it just keeps coming back.
Well, I think it's because I think you made a nice strong crease for your anhedral. That's probably why. It's the two creases probably don't match when you take the poofiness out. So you probably have to recrease the tip of your anhedral and then refold it.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Or you could fold one like that right there.
Yeah, I could do this.
Yep.
Oh, I could do. Uh-oh, don't mess with me now. I could fold that in like that. Oh my goodness. I could fold it out like that.
Yeah, you could.
And get that. Oh my goodness.
I
just came up with something new.
I'm actually kind of surprised you haven't ever done that before.
I'm surprised I haven't either. You know what, folks? I think I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Oh. And then you can. Oh.
It's fun when you discover something. It's just like, wait, what? What did I just do?
What did I just do? And how did I just fold that? And it's along that crease. Oh my goodness. Ermagerd.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what you guys saw.
The thing about that is that's far-reaching because you can do that same thing to Spider, or Vortex, or.
Well, and I kind of did that with Spider, but I didn't really do it like that.
No, you didn't. And you didn't do that with Firecat, and you didn't do that with Swallow. I mean, dude, think of all the applications that
you shut your mouth.
You can do that with everything, except Diablo. You can't do that with Diablo because Diablo doesn't have a pocket to kind of fold in on it. Unless, of course, you fold in the little triangle in the front. But that's really difficult. Yeah. And you're probably not going to gain anything from it.
So you saw it here first, folks. That's something that's
coming. Oh, I know what I was going to get at. By the way, if you guys have not gotten it, I highly recommend, for our sake, because of like the flight log we were talking about before, you should get the Google app for your calendar, the Google Calendar, because again, that's a good way to post up whatever flying you do that day. We were trying to tell everybody to keep posting up on the calendar when you did a flight, when you did a rollout, something like that. So everybody's got something to reference.
Yeah.
Well, if you put it on your phone, and nowadays everybody's got a smartphone, you can easily put it on the fly. I mean, you could post up right there where you fly. It like, oh hey, I'm flew blank. I cut something into it. It's the most easiest way to do it. So I highly recommend that. if you haven't done it already.
I know. I used to say that years ago.
You did. I mean, all I'm doing is backing you up on that one too, because you had said that long ago. And I just agree, like, dude, I literally just put it down, and like 2 days ago, I did 2 flights out at Manhart Station, which is the new one I've got that I've been flying at for like a year and a half now. But um, I I don't know why, but I just listened to Mark. It took me like 7 years to do it, but I listened to Mark, and now I put the Google app on the calendar app on there, and I'm posting directly to the calendar, so my flight log is there at all times. It might not be there physically, but the phone. I mean, come on, everybody carries a stupid phone now, right? And I was able to post up my flights right there. I could take notes right there. I mean, that's a win-win situation. I very highly recommend you do that, because even if you're offline, it still keeps it in the queue to when you're online and post it up.
Right?
Great way to go about it.
Yeah, it was. It definitely is. You definitely want to try to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably tie pictures into it, and of course, being smartphones what they are, they can tie your GPS position to where you're at, so you know where you flew, when you flew there. I mean,
Yep.
that's a great way to go about it. Obviously, for those of you who have taken us live when you've done the flights, that's pretty cool too. But and I don't know if you have to do that in your case, like if your own calendar. I'm not sure. It's been a while since we've touched on this, but I mean, like, if you keep your own calendar in your own Google account, I think you can make it shared so that it appears in other people's calendars. So you don't have to post it necessarily to IVPAC's calendar, just your own, and then we'll keep track of it. So, good idea, right? I mean, like I said, if you go flying, I highly recommend that, especially because, again, you put your number down and what it did. This helps and.
Yeah, it helps. It does help keep track of it faster, so you know what's going on. And I totally didn't do that the last time I went out either. So, shame on me.
And this will help the database. Should we grow the database?
Yeah.
This will be a good way to reference, like, if it was an award winner or whichever squadron it was or base it was flying at, and when it was flying, you could just tie it to the calendar. Good way to cloud compute all this stuff. So.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's free download. I know I'm doing a little bit of plugging for Google and stuff like that, but also get your roundels, please. You know, I mean, like, that's pretty hot. Kid, we see Mark over there has actually got himself something. He's like, okay, I got to try this now, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's a cool tech. I mean, like, I don't really have it named because I have hedral folds in there, and this kind of covers that. But when you're doing that, you can change. Obviously, you're changing the design and shape of any hedral of any sort that you're putting on there. In many cases, you can probably create a bihedral because if you fold it completely flush into a T shape, you can have, again, your bihedral is formed. But you can fold it back within itself like you did the other time, and then you've got the X-shaped bihedral. All depends on how you want to go about it. It's almost like giving it winglets.
Okay, well, I fixed that. That was a problem, but I fixed that. What time is that? Oh, it's the 24th. I don't even know how well it's going to write on this. This paper is glossy.
Why are you trying to get back there? Why do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't want you back there. Not a good place for you. Is that a pen?
Of course.
Okay. I think I've seen those before, but I wasn't sure.
It's an ergo. It helps carpal tunnel, but I don't really have that problem.
You usually don't get it from that. You usually get it from.
Yeah. You get it from typing, but I had a joint problem years ago in my thumb. So to take the pressure off the joint.
No, imagine that.
Yeah, right. Alright, so this... How do I fold those? Like that, that's what I thought. Goes almost to the tip. That usually goes to about right there. Yep, goes to about right there because that's straight. That's straight. That's about straight.
Looks about straight.
That's about straight.
It really does, yeah.
Do do do. Do do do. Alright, so got that, got that. Got that. Because you gotta fold these first to get that fold. So then you can I can take that fold and I can push that fold back down this way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Are you impressed?
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
I don't know if it's functional, but it looks cool. Don't know if it's functional, but it looks cool.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay, so it's almost like taking the anhedral out. And then
I didn't tell.
Isn't he on there?
No. Mostly because I didn't see him most of the day.
alright, so then let's fold the wing.
I didn't know anything. It's like, dude,
Let's fold the wing and get
I'm not
the
so John.
and get this. Let's get that straight. There. Oh man, I can't stand the nose of these things.
Wait, what?
It's cool for you to use
Excuse,
that.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, what?
I can brag to you. I'm not a brag to you.
I was going to say, didn't you tell me you were telling everybody?
No, I'll wait till I get my.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know what we talking about.
Okay, so I got that.
No.
I got that. Now let's try to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with these. Now that I got them. Because that kind of looks cool.
That kind of looks cool.
That kind of looks cool, but...
Ow, 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 ow. Do you want me to drop you?
Oh, this probably is not going to fly.
Tail out of my shirt so I can put you down.
This probably is not going to fly.
Just reach back and smack me in the face.
That's probably not going to fly.
Come on now. Yeah, it will.
It's slanted inward.
God, you're so
I mean, when you look at that, it's not... I mean, look at that.
Daddy?
Like, that's supposed to be straight. But that's not straight. Oh, so we're going to try this.
Well, yeah, it turns out, yeah, you're right, because the fold you do has a tendency to come out not straight, so.
Well, yeah, because I just fold it back along the angled crease.
Right.
Whoa. Nice knowing you.
What, did you fall down? Fall down, go boo?
Something did. Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man.
We got a casualty here.
Oh, no, not another casualties of war already. We've had too many of these too recently.
Okay. We good.
Did your tape dispenser crash?
It fell off the daggone desk because I was trying to untape it. Or
Oops.
trying to get this piece of tape off. Oh man. You gotta make this tight around here to keep this from doing its thing. That is just ridiculous. I don't know how that. I don't think that's gonna fly at all. You can put that in the comments below. How do you think it's gonna fly? You think it's gonna fly good, or you think it's gonna fly? Yeah. So, you let me know how you think it's gonna fly.
I don't know, but you could almost go further with that and put fat on those.
It is fat and ugly. Well, it flew across the room. I mean, it's Thunderbolt, so the weight of the nose is really just going to kind of carry it.
Right. And that's, I mean, again, so it doesn't affect too much. It's not going to affect it too much as to how far it goes or how it goes, because you don't need to glide or anything. You just need it to go like an interceptor. So.
Oh, but it dives like down.
Oh, this
I
could be
mean,
what we're talking about in the tips, where you probably want to fold the back ends up, give it a little up flap to prevent that. Yeah.
Ooh. Almost like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I curled
Just
it
the
up.
tip, just to see how it flies.
I curled it up because that was
Oh,
flat. This part was flat. This was flat, so I curled it up. I didn't crease it. I just curled it. So I wonder how that's gonna. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm. We might have something in progress here, people. You might have just seen the new version of Thunderbolt in the making.
At least of the standard size, right? That's a standard one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the standard size Thunderbolt. That's why I did it with that one, because I knew how that one flew.
Right. Again, good to know when you have a tested version, right?
Yep. I mean, Thunderbolt is obviously pretty easy, but that looks cool, though.
Oh, yeah, that looks really hot.
It's almost like a futuristic kind of plane back there. I don't know, like almost like I don't even know how to explain that.
It looks like Star Fox.
Yes, because it's open in the back. It's not like it's
like
closed.
Star Fox's bird, kind of.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but it looks a lot like it. Where the hell would I put this? Did I write this down? So I got to have written this down somewhere. All the notes that I take when I take notes, and I've got to have it somewhere. I just don't know where the hell it is. I have most of my IVPAC notes together, so it's not really that big of a deal, but I got to figure out where on these notes I have, unless you personally have the Raptor rollout and first flight handy, because I could just rewrite it. It doesn't really matter, because like I said, I've got it somewhere. Damned if I know where, but I got it somewhere.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Well,
great to stop on by and check us out.
Yeah, don't forget to check out the maps. Link is in the description below. I've got some stuff coming out. I'm working on some videos, not only for the IVPAC channel, but for the NAS Aerosystems channel. And I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and obviously I got a new Thunderbolt to really work with, so I gotta try to figure out what I'm gonna do with that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, now I got something else to do. Man, it's always been ridiculous.
That's the way this is, man.
Yeah.
That's the way this is.
So
Plus the fact of how many other aircraft can benefit off of that.
that's crazy. That's crazy. You just got my head spinning now. Over something so simple.
Yeah, true.
Something so simple. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys watching the video, stopping by, afterwards. And as always, keep on flying.